Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again. Lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. So it's been obviously so much going on, and we're going to get into it today, man. So, of course, we're going to tap in with my guy, Maxwell, going over the latest on Tim Walz, Minnesota, and how we already knew that none of these protests and all of the stuff that was going on out there was paid for. It wasn't organic. And also Ilhan Omar is on a hot seat for her and her husband's net worth shooting up to upwards of $30 million after just 1 year in business. She had a so-called winery that Ben Johnson, I might try to find that clip of Ben Johnson going in and doing his own investigation on the winery. I think it's in California, if I'm not mistaken. And he did his due diligence, looked into the website, tried to see if he can purchase some wine, also called, did all of these things to see if this was a legitimate business. And all the findings came to the conclusion that it is another fraud scheme that Ilhan Omar and, these Minnesota residents are coming up with. And it's just crazy, bro. And then we're going to get into her recently having a town hall, and allegedly she was attacked. We'll see the video. You let me know what you think about this video. To me, it just doesn't, it doesn't seem right, to be honest with you. My bad. Hold on. Okay. So the video just seems like, it looks staged to me, We'll get into it, but we'll show the video. We'll show the actual video, then we'll tap in with CNN for them to give their whole, ordeal on this. Yo, come on, bro. Why is this? Bro. My bad. Hold on, give me 1 second. What the heck? Got my joint on. Do not disturb, and it's disturbing me. All right, my bad. Anyway, back to the business at hand. So yeah, man, we're gonna tap in with a few stories about this, and tell me what you think. But before we get into all that, man, Trump is looking to have a big win on this decision about birthright citizenship, and he had a few things to say, but I want to play a little bit of it because there were some things that was said by the reporter that was kind of interesting, and it tells you kind of a lot about how much the news portrays Donald Trump, also lies about everything that he's doing and tried to make it seem like, it's the worst thing ever. And now we're seeing time after time everything that Donald Trump is doing is pretty much going in the right direction, but they want you to think otherwise. So without further ado, man, let's get straight into it.
I just might add one thing, and they used birthright citizenship, some of the worst people, some of the cartels, to get people into our country, just so you know. And again, I say, if you look at the end of the Civil War, the 1800s, it was a very turbulent time. If you take the end day, was it 1869 or whatever, but you take that exact day, that's when the case was filed. And the case ended shortly thereafter. This had to do with the babies of slaves, very, very obviously. And I think we're going to win. People didn't, I don't think they went about discussing it right. I came along and we looked and we said, wait a minute, this is wrong. We've been looking at birthright citizenship wrong for years.
That's a fact. And if you look at even the civil rights movement and the Civil Rights Act that was passed, it was passed, after the Million Man March and Dr. Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X, and they, the fight to get equal rights and to be able to vote and all of these different things that black people fought for in America. Now they're trying to use these same um, civil rights. They're using like the Civil Rights Act um, to allow, a lot of the LGBTQ stuff to be in schools and things like that. They're like aligning all of these different movements, including illegal immigrants, with black people. You know what I'm saying? They're using the black fight. And that's why black people piss me off, because they're using the black fight and the black plight to, you know, allow this illegal immigration to go on. Like, it's just, it actually is shocking to me. It's actually, I'm not surprised, but it's really shocking to me that how ignorant a lot of people are to what's really going on. And I was myself the same way, not too long ago, because I just wasn't into the politic thing. Now, me, I wouldn't say like I'm a, fucking scholar or anything on this shit, but I do look into a lot of stuff that's going on. And I've been noticing that for for a few years now, they have aligned, these issues with black issues. And they try to make it seem like it's in the same category when it's like, no, it's not, bro. Like, black people have been slaves for 400 years, been a part of the foundation of America, the building of America. And to compare illegal immigrants who just came here, 3 to 4 years ago under Joe Biden, and make it seem like, they're being racially discriminated against like black people. It's not even close, and it's not even in the same category. These, like, our people were people who been through uh, so much in this country, built this country, helped build this country, and deserve reparations at one point, I believe. But at the same time, now it's just like a situation like where we let it go so far where it's like, it's generations later. But anyway, that's another topic. When it comes to a lot of issues, they are trying to use the black plight in order to, argue the reasoning for keeping illegal immigrants into these countries, for giving illegal immigrants licenses and documentation to be citizens here in America. Listen, it's nothing wrong with anybody coming here the right way and uh, doing it the right way. And Donald Trump even said this. But just having that massive amount of people come in this country is unsustainable, and it's just ridiculous, bro. And also, one more thing, a lot of people really, I had somebody tell me that they thought ICE was new. They thought ICE was new. ICE been around for 2 decades. They thought ICE was a new thing. They thought what Donald Trump is doing is new. This has never been done before. Like, people actually don't know that President Barack Obama, former President Barack Obama, deported more illegal immigrants. He ran on it. He had whole speeches on deporting illegal immigrants and how they, just can't come in the country all willy-nilly. They got to come here the right way. They got to learn a language. They got to do different things. The same shit that Donald Trump is saying. Now they want to try to act like it's different. It's actually crazy.
But they've used it. The cartels have used birthright citizenship to get very bad people in. And what Pam's doing and what Todd and everybody else, what they're doing at DOJ and all over, FBI, ICE, Border Patrol, these are incredible people. They're trying to keep our country safe, and they don't want to have people come in. This is just another way that they get illegal immigrants into our country, and in some cases, very, very bad ones. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. On your tax bill, if I could for a moment, senators are racing to rewrite parts of it right now after the Senate parliamentarian ruled that sections of it were outside of the process that they're using to get this through. Do you think that senators should respect the decisions of the parliamentarian? And what have you personally done in the last 48 hours to try and get Republican senators who are against the bill to a yes?
Well, look, it's a great bill. It's a massive tax cut. If it's not approved, your taxes will go up by 68%. Think of that, 68, a record, the highest in the history. The Democrats won't approve it only because politically it's so good for the Republicans. The Democrats aren't approving it. But think of what they're not approving. They're not approving border security. We've done a great job at the border, but we have to add some wall. We have to do, various things. We have no money for that. We have no money for the border. We have no money for so many things. But if the Democrats, it'd be interesting to see if we get any Democrat votes. We should. If I were a Democrat, I would absolutely, maybe Fetterman, because he seems to be the most sensible one lately.
Yeah.
If I were a Democrat, I would vote for this
Definitely
bill all
is the
day
most
long
sensible
because
one.
it's tax cuts and so many other things that are common sense. They're basic things. I think they're doing fine.
Yo, that's so true, though. Most of the stuff that Donald Trump is doing, I'll say outside of tariffs, is regular shit, bro. He's not doing anything that Democrats haven't done in the past, talked about in the past, and agree with in the past. Now, all of a sudden, he did this 180 switch, and it's just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, to see, Barack Obama, deport all these illegal immigrants and now trying to act as if though, these people deserve a place here in America. It's just, bro, it's just crazy, bro. And you can't do this anywhere else. Try to take 10 million Americans or illegal immigrants for that matter from any other country and go to China. Go to Russia, go to these other countries that have been ruled by dictatorship. And see if you get the same treat. Only in America these things happen, bro. This is why Donald Trump has been saying that we have been a laughing stock for the last 10 years because or however long, whatever, especially for the last 5 for sure. But all of this stuff that's going on in America is ridiculous, bro. It's talking about it is crazy, to be honest.
The parliamentarian's been a little difficult. And I would say that I disagree with the parliamentarian on some things, and on other ways he's been fine. But we'll have to see. It's a big issue. I will tell you this: if that bill doesn't pass, the country will get a 68% tax increase. So think of this: you're a Democrat and you vote against it. That means you're voting in favor because essentially you're voting in favor of the largest tax hike in the history of our.
But that's what they want. They have already proven that every single Democrat has came out and pretty much aligned with raising taxes in some way, shape, or form. Look at what Brandon Johnson is doing in Chicago, raising people's property taxes 100%. See, what people don't understand is this whole tax the rich scheme, because that's what it is. It's a scheme. It's a talking point. It's a play on people's minds and emotions that, the wealthy and the rich are the reason why you're poor. No, that's not it. The reason why you're poor is because of maybe choices, maybe a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but period, being dependent on the government isn't going to make you wealthy. And I think everybody is, at least at some degree, chasing some type of wealth, some type of success in some degree. So to depend on the government for it, that's not going to happen. And they're trying to convince you that, being successful is a bad thing. And you're a bad guy for being successful. For you creating jobs and opportunities for other people, for you creating and inventing new products and new inventions that help people's everyday life be a little bit more durable, you're a bad person. You're terrible for that. And you're the reason why everybody else is poor. No, they're poor because they choose to be poor. That's a choice. In 2026, it's a choice. That's why I can't get with the blackity black shit on a lot of these topics because they're so far removed from the original, things that black people went through, to be honest.
Our country. And you can't do that. In addition, we're cutting costs by $1.7 trillion, and it won't affect anybody. It's just fraud, waste, and abuse.
Mr. President, a leading global economist just did a 180 and says your tariff plan, you may have outsmarted everybody with it.
Hold on. Listen to this again. Listen to the question.
Mr. President, a leading global economist just did a 180 and says your tariff plan, you may have outsmarted everybody with it. What is your message?
I love this. I love this question. This is the favorite. This is the best question I've ever been asked because I've been going through abuse for years on this.
But Mr.
Because as you know, we're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars, no inflation whatsoever.
But Mr. President, what is your message to critics who think your tariff plan will cause a recession?
I think they should go back to business school. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. I mean, we're taking in billions and billions of dollars from China and a lot of other countries. We took in. I had a call from somebody in the House and a high official. Sir, we have a problem. We don't know what to do. The books are a mess. I said, what do you mean by the books? The books, the money coming in. It's so terrible. I figured, oh boy, what's this? I don't like this question. I said, so what seems? There's so much money coming in, and there must be some kind of an accounting mistake because we have hundreds of billions of dollars more money than we thought. I said, do me a favor, go check call me back. You have to call me back. Check the tariff column. He calls me back 2 hours later, says, you're right. We took in 88 billion in tariffs. They have so much money coming in. But more important than the money coming in, we have companies coming in, factories coming in, auto plants being built. AI is being built here instead of being built all over Europe and Asia. We have
See, yo, this the thing. They're expecting Donald Trump to be perfect on every issue. They're holding Donald Trump to a higher standard, to be honest. They act like they don't. They act like he's dumb. Oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But Donald Trump didn't build his brand off of being dumb. You know, like they look at everything like, oh, he went bankrupt. He doesn't know about business. Okay. But anyway, I said the same thing. For me, I look at the tariff situation as if like it's a long term, short term pain for long term gain. Because tell me how, if like, let me know, am I tripping? But how is bringing in money, revenue that we were never bringing in, besides with Donald Trump, right? Tell me how that's bad for the country. Tell me how bringing billions of dollars in off of taxing other countries for bringing goods in our countries, being fair with it because they tax us too. It's called fair trade, you know? And then bringing these countries to the table to do real business and long-term business for rare earth minerals, rare earth and, oil and different things. Tell me how that's a bad thing for America. I like that way more than just allowing China and different countries to just sell goods in our country for free and for nothing and gain nothing from it, but just a good relationship. Why do gives a fuck about no good relationship? We try to do good business and everybody win. He has always said, he has always said, he has always said that he wants to do fair trade. And that's what it looks like to me. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, I guess. Okay, we got a chat. Hey, from Colorado. Keep going, my Philly friend. People expect 40 years of selling USA to China. Going to take years to bring back the factory jobs. Facts. It's a fact. If you look at, bro, it's a whole globalist agenda that I started looking into, and I'm like, oh, this was planned. It was planned to sell our factories off to China and stuff like that. This was a big plan, and it didn't work. And this is why you have I think his name Mark Carney or whatever from Canada saying, this is the end of the old world order, and this is the beginning of the new world order, and all this, because they know that it's the end of it. Donald Trump isn't going along with it anymore. He understands that this doesn't work. This isn't working for us. We're taking too many losses. It's time for us to win as a country again. It's no way that we could call ourselves a superpower and the best country in the world, but we're at the bottom of the totem pole on many things, bro, including education, which is the most important thing. We got a country full of dumb people. Tell me how that benefits us. All we have is a system that continuously robs us, and we're allowing them to do it, but yet we want to fight for illegal immigrants and just issues that just don't matter. That just don't, like, well, I don't even know why you care about it. You should care about things that benefit you, your family, your pockets, and so you can live a good life here in America as an American. People are going so hard for illegal immigrants and all of this stuff, and it's like crazy. Listen, I'm for everybody getting along, and I don't like the wars and all of this stuff that's going on. I think it's unnecessary, stupid, and but at the same time, you're from here. You're from America. Yo, we've seen stories where people, oh, I hate America. America is the worst country. And then they go live somewhere else and they're like, why the fuck did I do that? That was so, I had so much going on in America. Now I'm out here eating grass and fucking and wheat out the ground. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, man. Anyway, let's listen to a little bit more of this and move on.
All of it. We have over $15 trillion, just about, Scott. I think we're right at about that number. We went to Saudi Arabia. We went to Qatar.
Mariana,
we went to
thanks for the
UAE. Very smart people, very smart leaders, great leaders.
For the comments,
and we took in $5.1 trillion
Facts.
just there. Without the tariffs, I mean, they also liked a thing called November 5th, November 6th, and November 7th. That was a very good little period of time. It's called the presidential election.
Hey, yo,
you know, you used to have
Trump is
one-day
fucking
election. Now you
hilarious.
have it go over it. But even if you just took that little period, because it was pretty obvious it was going to be a landslide. And they like that, but they love the tariffs. I had Texas Instruments come in the other day, big company, and he said, we're putting in $60 billion into new plants and new equipment, new everything. Sir, you're going to keep the tariffs, aren't you? Because if I ever took the tariffs off, and we are going to absolutely keep it. And they're worried that somebody that, like this communist from New York, someday gets elected. I can't believe that's happening. That's a terrible thing for our country, by the way. He's a communist. We're going to go to a communistic state. That's so bad for New York.
Yeah.
But the rest of the country is revolting against it. But if somebody got elected, they're afraid that if this was taken off, well, we're going to guarantee it's never going to be taken off. And again, we're taking in think of this, hundreds of billions of dollars. And they were all confused because they've never seen this before. You know, it's always the other way. We don't have enough money.
Exactly.
So much money is coming in at levels that nobody's ever seen. But most importantly, we have factories being built, car plants being built, companies moving to our country like never before. If you look at 15 trillion, and that's only in a few months. You know, I haven't been here that long. Presidents, like the last one, was a disaster. One of the
He flexing right now, bro. Donald Trump flexing like a
worst
motherfucker
president
right now.
in the history of our country, by the way. What he did on our border
Facts,
can
he
never, ever
definitely
be
does.
forgotten. To me, that's the worst of all the things. And he's done some terrible things. Grossly.
So anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. But we get the point, bro. Donald Trump is doing what he has to do for America, bro. Listen, I'm all for good business, good trade, all of these good relationships with all countries. But the simple fact of the matter is that, bro, what's wrong with bringing made in America back to America? Business here in America. We've seen the big the Jeff Bezos, the Mark Zuckerbergs. We've seen them at the table with Trump. Letting it, I'm investing 600 billion. I'm investing 200 billion. Like, they invest in hundreds of billions of dollars. And it's just a few of them. This ain't including, I think Hyundai and all of these different businesses that are saying, I want to be a part of this. Because they know. See, we don't know. The average American doesn't know, the fine details and the things that really go on. They only go off of talking points and what CNN and MSNBC tells them. And they think that's the real news. This stuff is way bigger than what people think. And like, people should be happy that Donald Trump didn't go along with the go along. He's not a puppet. Like, honestly, bro, when people be like, bro, I don't trust the government, I feel the same way, bro. I don't fuck with the government too. But the government is needed. The same thing with police. But guess what, bro? Ever since I stopped being a criminal, stopped going to jail, stopped doing nut shit, I've been home for 4 years from prison. Came home at 22. Haven't even been pulled over yet, bro. You know why? You know why? It's not because I'm black and they love my black skin. Or because I'm half white. No, it's because I just follow the law, dog. Simple. We just follow the law, bro. We'll get where we gotta go. If we do the right things, you'll get to where you gotta go. I've been home 4 years and I got more than people that have been home for their whole entire life. 20, 30, 36. I'm 36. He would have been out here in the world, able to do things for 20 plus years. I'm not going to include their childhood, but 20 plus years, and they still ain't got shit. You know, I got a little something, got my own shit, had 2 more kids, got a family, I got all my own shit, and I did it in a short period of time. So just imagine what I could do in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, bro. Yo, it's endless. It's endless to what we could do. And this is what Trump is saying. We're the it factor. America is the it factor. Without us, nothing moves. So at the end of the day, he's using that leverage as the president of the United States to carry out one of the biggest changes for America in history. Donald Trump is going to go down as the GOAT, bro. Mariana says, kudos for the work. I appreciate it. Hey, man, I'm trying. I just see what's going on, and I actually be shocked at how brainwashed people truly are. It's actually crazy to me. It's insane. The levels of ignorance and I, like I said, bro, and the reason why I can say this, because I was one of them. I was considered to be a Democrat, I guess you could say. I wasn't really into politics like that, but all the same talking points, all of them are puppets. They already know who's going to be the president, and they just, our vote doesn't count. All of these things, I used to say it. I was a part of that until I started understanding. Once you overstand, then you understand. You understand? All right. So anyway, let's get on to this next topic with Ilhan Omar. Let's watch this video. This is the video of the town hall that she had. I don't know, it was a couple days ago or something like that. But let's watch this video. Tell me what you think.
Abolishment of the agency.
Hold on. Let's go. My bad. Oh shit. All right, let's go back. Let's go back to the
Abolishment of the agency. ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment. Fucking asshole. I don't know.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. No, we will continue.
No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked. No,
we will continue.
He could have hit you with poison, anything. No, we're going to go on. Yo, this has got to be the most dry altercation that has ever happened. And
Kenny, these fucking assholes are not going to get away with it.
That's whatever it is smells so bad. She needs to go get checked. I don't know
that's
what that
That's
was.
what they want. Please don't let them know.
It's not about him, Ilhan. Ilhan, it's not about him. It's about your safety. No, he sprayed something on you. You need to go get checked. Yeah, and it smells terrible.
We're going to keep talking. Just give me 10 minutes. Just give me 10 minutes. I beg you.
He's asking this dude. This guy is. He's her security. He's tasked with keeping her alive and looking out for her. She is asking, give me 10 more minutes. This guy could have sprayed a deadly poison on you. You could be on your way to the afterlife, and you're talking about, they're not gonna get away with this. It's like, bro. Yo, bro, just look at, bro, let me rewind it to the beginning real quick. Because this just looks so, like the way he hopped up, it's everything. This guy just looks like a drunk. I got to see if they got hold on real quick. Let's see if they got a still shot of this guy in the beginning. No, I don't think they do, but they're going to play it. I want to play CNN talking about this, but just look at this guy, bro.
Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Look, you see that? You see how the little head nod? She was like, and then he just hops right up, right on cue. This guy, you need to resign. Oh my God.
I don't know.
And then you see her, she was like, fuck you. I don't know, bro. But this shit looks staged as hell, bro. I'm sorry, bro. It's too. Everything is so delayed. It's like because you know it's going to happen, so your reaction isn't like organic. It's not like you like. Ain't listen, bro. She's like 5 something, like 5'2" or something. You know, this guy is towering over her. He just abs up. He's right there in front of her. Anybody else, at minimum, even men would at least like step back and be like, the fuck, like. She tries to chart. This chick is like 5 foot. She tries to chart. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like she's fighting back. Yo, you can't make this stuff up. Me, my theory is on this. Hold on, let's watch the end real quick. My bad.
Oh my God, he sprayed something on her.
I need a napkin to know nothing. We're gonna have the show. Please don't have the show.
Please don't stop the show. You see her not trying to look at the guy.
Here is the reality that people like this
op.
ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us.
See what I'm saying?
Everybody settle down. I'm going to finish my remarks. It is important for me to continue to lead my Democratic colleagues in demanding her resignation.
Like she still was reading from the paper even when all this was over. Like, oh my God, bro. This shit was so staged, bro. I'm sorry, and listen, bro, I'm not just saying this. I don't wish her to be attacked or nothing, bro. Like I think that stuff is, it's getting out of hand, to be honest. But I feel as though that they have been doing a lot of bullshit for so long. Yeah, you seen the head nod. Exactly. If it like you don't even know what it is. You're talking like my whole thing is any person would have said, okay, like come on, like I don't know what this is. I gotta make sure that I'm safe. It's not about standing strong and standing up to the opposition. Like, bro, this shit is so weak, and that's why everybody is not. They're like, yo, this just doesn't look organic. It seems like it was staged. Like it's so delayed, bro. That's my thing. The delayed reactions to everything. It's like she knew that it was coming. So that way, that's why she didn't react. You're not going to sit here and tell me, bro, that a female has a man overtowering her, lunges at her, and you're not going to be like, at least like, you know what I mean? She doesn't do any of that. I don't, I'm sorry, bro. That shit was staged. Anyway, let's see what CNN has to say about this whole thing. Because we know CNN, they don't really like to tackle the real issues that's been going on, like the signal issue, all the fraud that's been going on in California, Minnesota, everywhere, Maine, all of this, all the illegal immigrants that need to go and leave this country willingly instead of having ICE waste resources and them have paid agitators try to impede them from doing their job. I was trying to tell my peoples too. I'm like, bro, how if you had people in your face with whistles, blowhorns, all types of shit trying to stop you from doing your job, which is enforcing immigration law, like that would kind of, you would have situations like that happen to the guy, Alex Petrie, or the girl, Renee Good. Unfortunately, it's a crime to do what they did. Anyway, let's get into this.
Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar there attacked while speaking at a town hall event in Minneapolis Tuesday night. In the video, seconds after Omar calls on DHS Secretary Kristi Noem to resign, a man approaches her, sprays an unknown liquid on her with a syringe.
Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Asshole.
I don't know.
CNN's Sarah Seidner was at that town hall.
I don't know.
She saw all this happen. Sarah, what did it look like from your perspective?
Oh, man.
Look, there was a lot of fear initially. People couldn't figure out what happened. He was towards the very front of all of the rows of people who had come to the town hall, which, by the way, she has monthly. We are in North Minneapolis. She had it at the Urban League. And as soon as he sort of jumped up and came towards her, it was interesting to note that as he went around the side, he had what looked like a syringe in his hand, some sort of liquid he sprayed out of it, and you could immediately smell it. It smelled kind of like vinegar, a vinegary substance. We still don't know exactly what.
It might have just been vinegar. Listen, bro. This is my thing. Think about it. If I'm a person and I'm gonna go all out, right, and attack a a politician, man or woman, doesn't matter. Why would it, and this is why she's like, this doesn't look right, because your security is telling you, hey, we gotta go get you checked, make sure you're safe, and make sure this isn't, something dangerous, right? Like Mariana said about a chemical weapon. So if you, but my thing is this: if I'm gonna go all, I'm gonna go all out, bro. This guy specifically came there with a syringe filled with whatever to do that. Come on, stop. I don't see it, bro. But I hope they show a picture of this dude. You got to see this guy.
What was in that syringe? An investigation we now know is underway. But after he did that, Ilhan Omar herself, the congresswoman, went for him. She cocked her arm back, and it looked like she was going to lunge toward him. But before she had a chance to do that, her own security detail jumping on him, taking him to the ground, eventually wrestling his arms behind his back and taking him out of the vicinity so that he could be brought in by police. Ilhan Omar herself looked over. They were telling her security detail. I watched them talking to her, saying, "We need you to stop. We are concerned about what this is. We don't want you to continue." She says, "No, I'm going to continue. I will not let anyone intimidate me." And she stood in front of the crowd that was still there, who clapped for her as she continued to continue security detail. I watched them talking to her, saying, "We need you to stop. We are concerned about what this is. We don't."
Look at the cameraman right here.
"Want you to continue." She says, "No, I'm going to continue. I will not let."
You see how he doesn't even, like, my thing is this: if an attack is happening, cameraman or not, you're going to be a little like, get up out the way, something. Even if you're trying to get the footage, you're going to try to back away and be like, this guy just like, I got to get every shot. Like,
anyone intimidate me, and she stood in front.
He didn't even move when it happened.
We are concerned about what this is. We don't want you to continue. She says, "No, I'm going to continue. I will not let anyone intimidate me." And she stood in front of the crowd that was still there, who clapped for her as she continued talking about the situation here when it comes to immigration. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of concern, and there was fear among her staff about whether or not she was going to be okay. Alex?
Well, and then right after that, she spoke exclusively with you, Sarah. What'd she say?
Yeah, I just happened to pull my cell phone out after our photographer, Jerry Simonson, was focused on the person who was wrestled to the ground and being taken out. And I asked her if she was okay, and here's how she responded. Representative Omar, are you okay?
I'm going to go figure if I am, but I feel okay. I feel that it is important for people, whether they are in elected office or not, to allow these people to intimidate us, to make us not fight for our constituents and for the country we love.
Says the person that is helping her people, Somalians, rob Americans, her constituents, for billions of dollars. Yo, these people are so fake, bro. Listen, she has a lot of heat on her. This is it's super convenient. All week she's been getting nailed to the cross about everything that's been going on with her and her husband and this winery business, and how she, all of a sudden just poof, in 1 year, her 2 businesses explode to millions of dollars, and now her net worth is, and this is what she reported. They're going off of what she reported. she's worth her and her husband is worth upwards of 30 million. Like, get out of here, man. And then you got all the fraud that's going on in Minnesota that she's attached to too, because the feeding our kids or feeding our future, she was there. She pretended to hand out meals and do these things. She helped with the fraud. She helped, you know? So now it's so convenient that the left has been engaged in all of this, you know, violence, basically violence and rioting and protesting and vandalizing property and all of that. And they don't have any of this on the right. They don't have any of this on the right. So yo, we got to get somebody to do something. Hey, listen, hey, um, you look like an alcoholic. Okay. Hey, listen, we'll give you $5,000. We need you to do something for me. And like, like this guy, yo, bro, it's no way. Now, I'm not sitting there saying that people on the right can't be loony, because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of. But it just doesn't align, bro. If you see this guy looks like he's a leftist. He looks kind of crazy, honestly. Looks goofy.
And as I said, I've survived war.
Well, at least before he did what he did, he like had a water or something, and he just looked like he did a lot of drugs before he did this.
And I'm definitely going to survive intimidation and whatever these people think they can throw at me, because I'm built that way.
Thank you. I'm built that way. Her last words there as she went to the back where she eventually began getting...
Even her shit, even this news reporter, bro, Sarah Sidner. Like, bro, this stuff it's all fake, bro. It's so fake. It's all fake. This is why people can't get with this. It's why people don't trust it. It's so fake. Everything is just so fake now. No, it's, and I'm not saying, because of AI. No, before AI ever existed and people were able to make goofy videos and things like that and make videos look real or whatever, it's been fake. Trump been telling us fake news. It's fake news. They just be lying. And you see stuff like this and you're like, you want to believe that it's true. But I'm just sorry, bro. Everything that happened, it just doesn't look real. It just doesn't. And then she's trying to come out of it looking like she's this superwoman who is like a survivalist and I can survive anything you throw at me. I don't care about Donald Trump and his minions. I will defeat it. Yeah, this shit is so fake.
Being checked by medical staff. But yeah, this was a moment that did freak everyone out in the room, considering that just like many other members of Congress, Ilhan Omar has gotten threats. She's gotten death threats. But her staff tells me this is the first time that she's ever faced any kind of attack inside her own town halls, which she has regularly, like I said, once a month here. And we are standing here in North Minneapolis, where her constituents came to listen to what she had to say. And she was very pointed about what she feels is going on in her own community, and very clear that she wants ICE out. She wants Kristi Noem out, and she wants ICE to leave this community because she says it is just breaking her community apart.
There were some Republicans who were quick to condemn the attack. Mike Lawler called it unacceptable. Mark Alford said while he disagrees with Omar, quote, these disagreements should never result in assault. And Nancy Mace says she was deeply disturbed. One Republican who did not seem worried about it, President Trump. Speaking to ABC News, he suggested without evidence that the attack was somehow staged, saying, quote, I think she's a fraud. I really don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her. The same president who just hours before had said this about Minneapolis.
You're a clown, bro.
We have Tom Homan there now. We put him in there. He's great. And they met with the governor, the mayor, everybody else, and we're going to de-escalate a little bit.
Joining me now in the group chat, Zach Wolf, CNN senior politics writer, Kristen Soltis Anderson, CNN political commentator and Republican pollster, and Antoine Seawright.
You get the point. But this is my thing about that, right? Think about it. This guy, Donald Trump, has been attacked every which way you could think of, right? This guy has been through lawfare, and it's all out there. It's not like oh, now that he's president, oh, now he's winning these cases and he's winning on appeal. No, Donald Trump is winning all of these cases because it's bullshit. You could watch the hearings. Watch the hearing with Jack Smith, where he gets grilled by um, a bunch of senators and I don't know if it was the House or the Senate, but anyway, he gets grilled by all of them, and this guy, it's undeniable that he went after Republicans and Donald Trump specifically, and it was lawfare. So this guy, Donald Trump, has been lied on about the smallest of issues. Like I'm talking about, he's out in what was that, North Korea or South Korea, Japan or something, and he was like doing a traditional thing, throwing something inside the lake, some type of thing they do there, and he dumps it all out. They report saying that he was, wasn't following tradition and he was being rude by what he did. But come to find out, he was just following what the guy did that was from there. He seen him do it, so he was like, all right. At first he was just throwing little pieces, and then the guy dumped it and he did the same thing. So they lie about the smallest of things, and especially the big things. They lie about everything. So if I'm Donald Trump, I'm skeptical of everything too. I'm skeptical of everything. And then if you watch the video, it just doesn't, I'm just sorry, it just doesn't look real. It looks staged. It looks like she knew it was going to happen. And come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, come on. Somebody's going to listen, you're going to bring a syringe, right? So you're saying you're going to bring a needle, right? Because that's what it was supposed to be, but it's not even that. It's just a syringe, right? That you give kids medicine with something in it, right? Not saying that, you can't hurt somebody by doing that, but come on, let's be real, bro. Somebody was going to try to cause harm. And look, this is my thing. It hit her. It hit her. So if this was some type of biochemical or whatever, right? It hit her. It got on her. She wasn't phased. She didn't flinch. She went to fake attack this. She went and tried to attack this guy. Come on, bro. But whatever it was that he had in it, if this was dangerous, if this was something that could kill you, it hit her. It's like saying a sniper, they shot at Donald Trump. They shot at him. They missed. But if it hit him, he would have been dead. Gone. This, whatever it was, it hit her. Nothing happened. She walked away smiling. Oh, I'm standing up for my people. Get the fuck out of here, bro. If I'm Donald Trump is just real. He's not going to be like everybody else and be like, oh, yeah, he probably doesn't wish anything ill on her or, say, he doesn't want anything bad to happen to her. I'm pretty sure of that. But when it comes to the situation at hand, he's like everybody else, like, come on, bro. He's skeptical. He's saying, yo, look, it's probably staged, bro. Like, because she's so fake. Let's be honest. Come on, man. Anyway, let's get into this last story with my guy, Brian Maxwell. Yo, you
I
can't
lived
make
in
this
China,
shit up.
and as I said, I've been there about 30 times. I don't fall into the category that China necessarily needs to be an adversarial relationship. I
just want people to understand that nothing, what's that saying? Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see, or some shit. Like, that's the truth, bro. Like, stop believing everything you hear. Look into it. Like, even things that you see. Everything isn't always what you see. Like, it's just not. And you gotta look into these things and make your own conclusion. They all right. So this is another thing too. So the guy, allegedly, from what I heard, he got charged with a 3rd-degree assault charge. 3rd degree for attacking a politician, hitting her. He hit her, whatever this was. Come on, you risked everything to go spray vinegar or dog shit on Ilhan Omar. I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
disagree.
Tim Walz and his wife got married on the anniversary of the Tiananmen Square massacre because his wife said he wanted a date he would always remember. And for their honeymoon, they went to Yes, you guessed it, China.
All right, Patriots, we got some real deal stuff going on, and thank you all for your patience. I was under the weather for the last 3 or 4 days or so. Had to get the health back right so I can come back out here and we can talk about what's going on. Now, in the last 48 hours or so, some bombshell information has dropped. As a matter of fact, the woman, Amy Bach, who was at the head of the $250 million Feeding Our Future fraud out there in Minnesota, well, she's been talking with the Popo. And guess what? She gave up some information that the FBI, the DOJ, and President Trump, were extremely interested in. She did everything except flat out name Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar. So in this video, I'm going to share some information with you, not so much about that Feeding Our Future, but what has happened in the wake of the man Alex, I think his name is Alex Petty or Alex Petrie, the individual who lost his life impeding or obstructing ICE during an operation. You're going to hear what came out after that, because if you thought that Amy Bach admitting that the high-level state government knew, wait till you hear what happened and who's involved as far as coordinating all of these rioters that are literally telling them where to go. Not only that, we're going to hear how President Trump and Tim Walz they had a conversation. And wait till you see the results of what one phone call can do in Minnesota after all of this craziness. And the lefties are losing their mind because they didn't expect this to happen. So let me roll into it. I'm going to let this clip play with Amy Bach and listen to what she has to say. Then we're going to roll into the other stuff. Check this one out.
Ringleader of the $250 million Minnesota welfare fraud scandal, telling Fox News she believes the state leaders knew taxpayer money was being stolen and did nothing to stop it.
But I guess, how high up do you think the message went that there was fraud? Like, do you think it made its way to the governor's office?
I struggle to believe it didn't. I have to believe that the governor's office and Keith Ellison's office were aware of this. They've said they were involved in helping the FBI. They've said they were made aware.
A spokesperson for the state attorney general responding, saying in part, quote, treating the words of a convicted fraudster like Amy Bach as though they have any credibility is shocking. She is a liar, fraudster, and manipulator of the highest order who has never acknowledged or accepted her guilt.
This is the same person that they came to her defense when it initially happened. Now all of a sudden it's, oh, you can't believe her. Because listen, bro, it's all fine and dandy when they're bringing in millions of dollars. We're talking about big money. We're not talking about, you go robbing a bank for, a couple grand. No, we're talking about millions of dollars that these people were defrauding the government for, right? And now they don't they expect that Kamala Harris was going to win, and they were going to continue this. They were going to continue to ruin the country. How could you be in favor of ruining the very country you are in? I can see if you were like, from anywhere else, and you're like, yeah, fuck America. Like, I hate America. And yeah, but you're from here. You're from here. Why would you be in favor of higher taxes? They already taxing the shit out of us. They're ruining the country, and you're in favor of it. And this woman now gets locked up. And that's what they do. This, come on, bro. This goes down to petty shit. People flip. That's what they do. Now she wants to come out and she wants to, she's trying to put it in a way where it's not like, yeah, they knew. I know they knew. This is why, because she's probably trying to use that to her advantage. Listen, if you really want me to testify and say the real deal, I need to get a better sentence or whatever the case may be. She's going to try to use that to her advantage. But trust me, this woman knows the real deal. And people like Tim Walz and Keith Ellison, they are afraid. They are scared right now. And when you looked at the signal check that came out, she said it in it. Not her. I think it was a different woman, if I'm not mistaken, said in the signal check, it's basically over. They know what's going on. It got leaked. They know what's going on. They've been caught.
All right, so you heard that, right? Now, this woman who's saying, they had to know, then you saw Keith Ellison come out and start calling their names and putting her down. Now, what's crazy is that when the situation first started with Amy Bach, guess what? Ellison, Tim Walz, everybody was like, hey, we don't know what's going on. We got to let it work out. They were showing a little bit more love to her with her Somali boyfriend, And they put together like as if this individual woman could single-handedly scam the state of Minnesota out of $250 million, and the only one that's worthy of press. They're throwing this white woman under the bus more than they are the heads of the Feeding Our Future and the Somalis involved. Now, Tim Walz has a crazy track record that's not very good. Many in the public have forgotten that literally, we're talking about just in 2025, those two state lawmakers in Minnesota, both Democrats, their lives were taken, right? The man showed up at the door wearing a Hollywood-style humanoid type mask, got like he was a delivery person or a UPS driver, see if there's a picture of it on here, and got these people to open the door. And when they opened the door, he wasted them. Now, the really crazy part is that when this person was caught, because he was on the run for a hot second, when he was caught, he admitted and said that Tim Walz put him up to going on his next hit, which was to go to take out the senator, the Democrat senator, Amy Klobuchar. So real quick, I'm going to touch on this article, then we're going to move on. Accused Minnesota assassin told FBI that Tim Walz wanted him to unalive the lawmakers. Now, this man, when people first came out, when this first happened, they were saying, oh, this is MAGA. This is MAGA. Then you find out that Tim Walz personally appointed this man to like the health services board there in Minnesota. Let me get into it.
My thing is, what's the odds of that? What's the odds that a person that Tim Walz appointed to any position is the specific guy who actually pulls out a hit on two Democrat leaders who opposed, illegal immigrants getting, I think, health care or something, This stuff is, bro, this shit get wicked, bro. The fact that people like Tim Walz, Ilhan Omar, and with all of this stuff going on, it's not locked up. I understand people's frustration when they're saying, yeah, y'all locked up two people that had something to do with going inside of the church, but why didn't Don Lemon get locked up? He was right with him. You know what I'm saying? So allegedly there are some investigations going on and things are supposed to be happening down the line. But
accused assassin responsible for the unalivings of Minnesota lawmaker and her husband wrote in a letter addressed to FBI Director Kash Patel that Democratic Governor Tim Walz selected him to unalive Democratic lawmakers, including Tina Smith and Amy Klobuchar. Recently, I was approached about a project that Tim Walz wanted done. And redacted Keith Ellison was also aware of the project, the letter stated. Tim wanted me to unalive Amy Klobuchar and Tina redacted. Tim wants to be a senator and he doesn't trust redacted to retire as planned and thinks she is going to stay on at the last minute. On Tuesday, Vance Voltaire was indicted for the June 14th unaliving of House Representatives Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark Hortman, as well as the attempted unaliving of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Voltaire also attempted to unalive at the Hoffman's daughter, Hope. Now, guess what? This state lawmaker, Melissa Hortman, what do you think she voted against that caused her life to be taken? Check this out.
I know that people will be hurt by that vote, and we worked very hard to try to get a budget deal that wouldn't include that provision.
DFL Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman emotional following the House's adjournment from a special session Monday. Hortman was the lone DFL lawmaker to cast a vote to cut Minnesota Care access for undocumented immigrants. It's a move she made with a heavy heart.
I did what leaders do. I stepped up and I got the job done for the people of Minnesota.
She stepped up and got the job done for the people of Minnesota. So she knew that this stuff is wrong, bro. It's not right. And she did the right thing. She did the right thing. She did what she was supposed to do. And you got people like Tim Walz, who is an enemy of the country, bro. This guy is an enemy of the country. This guy right here, Tim Walz, Clown World, is an enemy of this country, bro. How these people are allowed to be politicians is crazy, bro. Yo, you can't.
So you saw that.
This is wild,
now,
bro.
Check this out right here. What President Trump feels about what Tim Walz is saying. If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid. Hit that thumb.
Quote, the day of retribution and reckoning is coming. That's a direct threat against the people of this.
Just got to throw a little levity in there, just to break it up. Now, I want you to listen to something, and it's very important. This is Tim Walz outside of his home behind his gate. So from his governor's mansion, behind his gate, not even out there with the people, listen to what he says to these deranged lunatics.
Served on the China Commission in Congress, ironically enough, as co-chair with Marco Rubio. We used to bring in Chinese political prisoners, and we would ask them.
Yo, bro, look at his wife. Hey, yo. Hey, yo, one of the Nelk brothers, he was funny. He said Tim Walz is like one of the he's like the dad that, you'd be fucking his daughter and he'll come in there and be like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" "Oh, you're fucking my daughter." "Okay." He didn't say that, but you know, I'm saying that. But yo, this guy's yo, bro. If you really watch him, watch him. First of all, he came out of nowhere, and now we know why Kamala Harris picked him, right? Because of the money that he was bringing in. But his wife too, like, bro, they are a weird couple.
When we speak up and call out your government, is it bad? And they said, well, in the short run, it's bad because they torture us. But if you don't speak up, they will torture us and forget about us. The idea is right now is we have to be speaking up. We have to call it out.
Now, did you notice what he said? He said that he was speaking with Chinese, people from China, about it speaking out against your government bad. And what the crowd missed, he said, well, yeah, in the short term it's bad because they'll get tortured. But then he gonna say, but they said, but if we don't speak up, they'll get tortured and forgotten. At the end of the day, what the people in the crowd are missing, you get tortured regardless. And he's talking about standing up against the government. Since when do people in China stand up against their government? Their lives will be taken, and he knows that. So what they're really trying to do, they're trying to create an entire group of crash outs. That's all they're trying to do, create human shields to create so much unrest and so many people's lives being taken or being hurt that they would wear down the American public, and we'd say, okay, that's enough, stop it, let them stay. But see, the problem is this, the Democrats don't realize something. President Trump, you know this, he said this the entire time since he's been back. When he came back to run for a second term, he told us, I'm getting them out, I'm deporting everybody, I'm getting them out, I'm deporting everybody. Do you know the only group that's shocked are the Democrats? Why is that? Because Orange Man Bad, their Trump derangement doesn't even allow them to listen when he speaks. On MSDNC, on BSCNN, they literally would cut his speeches, have it just going in the background muted while they're talking and giving their synopsis, their summary about what he said. So they're shocked. They're like, oh my God. That's why they keep saying, oh, I know the Trump supporters. I know they're falling off by the wayside. No, Trump support has actually built up. Now, Tim Walz right now is catching heat from the Jewish community behind this statement.
All right, so I just wanted to play a little bit of that because this guy, Tim, these people are exactly what Donald Trump called them, the enemy within. Like you got to think everything that Donald Trump has said and has been saying about Democrats and just all of these different issues have been true. And I just don't, it's just, it's just a mass distraction. I quote my guy, Dave the Business Bully, man. It's a mass distraction. All of the protests, the stuff in Minnesota, the No Kings protests, it's all mass distractions. They need people because you see what they do, right? All N.G.L.A drops huge video on the fraud in Minnesota. Now they're unpacking all of the billions of dollars that have been stolen and defrauded from taxpayers, right? The stuff in California that's going. Now you got people that are independent journalists going to different in their actual states that they're in and going and doing their own research and things like that on fraud that's going on in their states. And now it's coming out. Everything is being exposed. But Donald Trump been exposing it since day one with Elon Musk, right? Exposing USAID, the Department of Education, all of these different departments within inside of the government that's been stealing your money. So it blows my mind that you are on the side of, allowing this to continue to happen. And being mad at the guy who is showing you, hey, your government that I'm the president of has been ripping you off for decades, if not longer, bro, forever. Been ripping you off. And I'm here to put a stop to it. And we're going to do that. And instead of people being on the right side of history and actually, you know, cheering Trump on in this whole ordeal, they're just, it's just Trump bad, Trump bad. TDS is real, bro. It's actually not even funny anymore. People really have Trump derangement syndrome. It's Trump. And I know this because even the people that are kind of like, because you got a lot of people that would be like, you know, I don't not like Trump. This is everybody's, like, literally, like, friends of mine, like, I don't not like Trump. I just, like, I don't like him neither. Like, you know what I mean? But it gets, my thing is this, when it comes to saying things like that, it just comes down to why? Why? You know, I'm not telling you have to. Listen, you're entitled to how you feel. That's cool. I truly don't care. But why though? And nobody can really give you a definitive answer on why they don't like Trump. They just know that it's been a lot of negative things that came out about Trump because it's all by design. And that's what people don't understand. It's by design, bro. Like, they want you to think these things. They want to try to cover up the fact that they're robbing you, bro. You need to focus on that. You need to be in the street rioting about that. They're robbing you. And they get a bunch of poor people, a bunch of brokies, like Andrew Tate would say, brokies, to they give them a couple dollars to go out and protest and give them weapons and all types of shit, bro. This stuff is not organic. It's not organic. It's not the Million Man March, bro. That was organic. Black people standing in together for a cause, crowding the streets because they wanted change. That was a real movement. This is bullshit. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. Straight bullshit. And they know it. And I just always, when stuff like this goes on, I always think in my mind, like, when you see Tim Walz and these different politicians speak on these different issues, like, I wonder what what goes on in their mind. Like, in their mind, like, do you think they believe me? like I wonder how they, their conversations, like, in private, like, are like, yeah, man, we got them. They're starting to believe us. They're coming around. Like, I think one more speech away from them, being on our side. Bro, this stuff is demonic, bro. It's demonic. The devil is alive, for real. But anyway, man, that's the show for today, man. If you fuck with the show, please do me a favor and hit that like button. Share the video. Also, comment down below. Tell me what you think about the video. If you agree, disagree with anything I said, please type it in the comments. I truly do appreciate it. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for me. I'm on the road to 1K subscribers. Help your boy on the road to 1K. Trying to get there. Can't do it without you. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. This your boy SL550. This is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Until next time, I'm out. Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again. Lose again, lose again, lose again, lose again.